right. Tonight, we are going to, it is tonight. Yeah, that's what I do. We are going to look at writing equations. And we've been doing that for a little bit, but now we're going to get super serious about it. And I'm going to try to give you some guidance on how you can apply a little bit of structure. Now, a lot of this is just common sense. And a lot of you will just look at these word problems that I give you and go, oh, yeah, it's this, and this. And the word problems that we use in these examples are fairly simple and straightforward because I want to start out giving you a really structured format. And from that is going to be where we're going to take off to do the harder ones. And the structure is going to change and be more fluid. But here as we start, it's going to be fairly straightforward. So let's look at our, I want to look first at, the little thing is, I knew that was going to happen. And, oh, shoot. Give me a second. I hate this thing. And present. And this. There we go. Okay. I'm going to start looking at this little thing here. This is kind of your template to start from. When you have an equation, it's kind of sort of going to look like this, where you have some total amount that you have is equal to the rate times the unknown. This x is the unknown, or it's what you're trying to know, plus whatever you start with. So the total is equal to rate times x plus your starting point. Now let's look at this simple word problem. Wendy is babysitting on weekends, and she charges $10 right up front to pay for her gas because she drives to her jobs there. And then she gets $8.50 an hour. If she made $61 from a job, how many hours did she work? Well, I don't think that's not going to go off there. Maybe it will. All right. So the $10 represents her starting point because whether she stays an hour or 10 hours, she's going to get this $10 that covers her gas, okay? Her hourly rate is $8.50. And the total that she made is $61. So this is the equation that we would use and that we could apply to other jobs. But this is what we're going to apply to find out how much she made on this job. As we go forward in solving linear equations, we're going to learn that this is also a variable, but not today. Okay, so we're going to start off making sure we can write these by starting with expressions. Now, these are not going to have equal signs. You and your 6 friends are eating lunch. You and your 6 friends are eating lunch, and you decide to split the bill equally. It's to write an algebraic expression explaining how you'll pay the bill. All right, well, let's say that the bill, we're going to use the variable C. That's the cost of the bill. And how many of you are going to pay that cost? Not 6 of you, because it's you and 6 friends. So there are 7 of you. So by the 7 of you and multiplying it by what each of you pays, that's going to be your total cost. Algebraic expressions, again, a cold front came in today and the temperature dropped 30 degrees. Write an algebraic expression to explain the new temperature. Well, let's think about what is the old temperature. The old temperature is T. And then what am I doing? Well, it dropped. So let's subtract 30 from that. You bought some, oh, rats. Give me a second here. Keep forgetting this does this. You bought a new pair, some pairs of new socks for $12.95 a pair, and you had a coupon for $5 off. Ooh, interesting. Well, let's say our socks are S, and I'm writing a cursive S because other S's look like 5s. So at $12.95 for each pair, Ooh, let's call it P. Let's call it P for pair. That'll be fun. So for each pair, minus the $5. Okay, now those are expressions. Now we're going to go and apply the thought processes we did here and my template that I gave you initially. We're going to go ahead and apply it to some equations. So I'm going to put that over there for this one. 31 students went on a field trip. 6 buses were filled and 7 students traveled by cars. Well, let's think about my template here. So our total is equal to our rate times X plus or minus our starting point. All right. Now, understand that this number and this variable can be interchangeable because sometimes it is the rate that we're trying to find. And in this case, we're trying to find the rate. So these will be interchangeable. But we know our total. 331 students. That is equal to, now what we have here, we have some kids that went on a bus. And we have some kids that went in cars, and we're going to be adding these together. Well, we know that 7 kids went with their parents in cars, so I'm going to put 7. So that's not truly our starting point, but we could consider and say, hey, we're going to start out by sending those 7 kids in a car with their family. Now, how many buses? Well, we had 6 buses. How many on each bus? Well, let's just say that's B, the number on the bus. And how many buses? We had 6. Now, in this case, this is where my rate has switched places with my variable, but that's perfectly okay. Second equation. Alia had $24 to spend on 7 pencils. After buying them, she had $10. How much did each pencil cost? Well, let's start out with our total, $24. How much is each pencil? Do I have any clue? No, let's call that P. How many did she buy? 7 of them. Now, if I add to that the $10 I had left over, I'll figure out how much each pencil was. So once again, I'm going to do this, going to do this. Remember, you can always reverse this video to see the stuff that I'm making go away very quickly. Imani spent half of her weekly allowance playing mini golf. To earn more money, her parents let her wash the car for $4. What is her weekly allowance if she ended with $12? Now, that doesn't sound like a total, but that is going to be representative of our total this time. Half of her allowance. Well, what is her weekly allowance? We don't know. Well, what do we write when we don't know in algebra? We write A. So if she had half of it to start with, we're going to do that. And then we're going to add in the $4 that her parents gave her for washing the car. So you can see we've got that format of some number is equal to something times X plus something else. Now, generally speaking, this is the rate. This is the starting point. And this is a total with a little bit of leeway and play in there. Hope this is helpful to you in writing equations. Thank you.